So while everyone joining us, so let's kick off the session. And thank you so much for everyone for joining us. So just to give you a little bit of brief about what DigiConnect is all about. So DigiConnect is all about digital team is connecting with uh, the industry and sharing the knowledge what we know, and sharing with a little bit of pieces of all these. Session is all about educating you on different topics, our own in-house experts sharing their own knowledge. So we had our very successful the first episode last time, where our own CEO, managing director Peter Ward, was highlighting about why Sri Lanka as a talent destination in the Asia. So on the very second episode of DigiConnect, we are here to talk about extending Power Automate capabilities using C# custom connectors. To give an introduction about our facilitator today is none other than Raahidh Rizvi. So Raahidh Rizvi is one of our talented experts across the Power Platform and currently working as a senior Power Platform engineer at Digital team. So I'm handing over the session to Raahidh to talk you through about what he has in the house for us. So Raahidh, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Rishad. Today we are gonna, as Rishad said, first of all, thank you everyone for joining this session. So first of all, I will be checking today how to use a C# code with the help of custom connector in Power Automate, which is a very efficient way to use. So yes, so today the agenda would be this. So we'll be starting with Power Platform technologies. Then we'll be seeing use cases, then the demo and limitation, and we can have the question and answer session. So first, so is it possible to use C# in a Power Automate? So do you all have any idea of using a C# code in Power Automate? So with no extra tools needed or additional tools required to do this, and no Microsoft Azure related as well. And also you can easily develop and deploy it within a minute. Yes. So and also today I will be going to show you how I write a C# code with the AI tool, which I preferred, and how to configure the custom connectors with the code written, and how to use it through the Power Automate, and what are the limitations and what are the advantage of going through this procedure as well. And you can see some screenshots here with a simple code which will be configured in this custom connector and used it in Power Automate. Then we'll talk about the technologies. When it comes to the technologies, these are the three technologies engaged in this uh, feature which we are going to look. So first of all, I will address you, give a bit idea of what is connectors. So connectors, there will be like 1,000+ connectors built in within Power Platform itself. So these connectors could easily help us to connect with the external sources or resources or data sources or other external systems, and communicate and work along with it. So custom connector would be playing a major role in the connectors, where like if we don't have a built-in connector, we can use this custom connector to connect external resource or data source, whatever it is, even a web API. So everything can be customized and accommodated with the custom connector. So C# code is one of the main programming language, and where we can build a lot of robust solutions. And Power Automate is one of the main component of a Power Platform. So Power Automate would we can work with like three types of flows in Power Automate: instant flow, scheduled flow, and automated flows. So here we can build flows to work and process data, etc., etc. Sorry. And today we're going to see two use cases. The first use case would be email validation use case, which will where we will be like using regular expression to validate and then check whether it's in the company's domain, and provide a response with email if it's valid, and if it's the organization email, and a descriptive message on the validation or on the input given. So we here we can see uh, uh, some of the invalid emails, and we're gonna check a valid email like this. So the format would be like this. And the second use case, so here there might be a big set of data source where we'll be having uh, wrong phone numbers within the data set. So what we are going to do is like we're going to get the input, and then we're gonna validate the mobile numbers, and then we're gonna extra eliminate the special characters out of it, and make it into a format which we would prefer. And we are expecting a response of the both original and the formatted, and how we handle the error handling within the C sharp code as well. So we all know we could do this easily on Power Automate itself. We don't need to like do extra work. You might think we don't need to go for the C sharp connector. So why we are going with the C sharp code in the custom connector in this for these scenarios? Because if you try to do these on the Power Automate, your workflow would look like this. It would be a big mess, like to have a lot of actions, conditions, and so on. So let's see what are the advantages of going with this approach. Uh, so first, complexity reduction. So complexity reduction, uh, if we try to build this in Power Automate, we might need to use multiple nodes to validate actions. For error handling, you need to use a lot of conditions, and for several set of scenarios, you might need to use other nodes conditions as well. So when you try to build this in C sharp connector, what is the plus there? Because you can directly use one custom connector action node. So one custom connector node where it will have all the validation done within the C sharp code. So you can easily use one node which will be easy and not complex. So then performance improvement. So what are the performance improvement? I would see faster execution and lower action count on the Power Automate, and parallel processing in C Sharp can be very efficient, and reduce almost like overall it reduce the Power Automate processing overhead. And then the error handling. So when it comes to the error handling, to with the C sharp code, we can structure the error messages, and we don't need to use multiple condition nodes, as I mentioned earlier. We can eliminate the multiple condition rows and making the flow complex. And then the scalability advantages. So we can do for a large set of data, we can validate within one node. Here batch processing options are available. And also one of the main thing I would like to point out, external functionality extendability is more efficient. Then if you come and if you want to do some customization, if you create it through Power Automate, you have to go through the whole workflow, you have to test it, and then it's like, you know how if you have lots of complex nodes within it, how long it will take to process, and it will look complex, right? So if you use the custom connector, you can directly go and edit it in the custom connector itself, so it will automatically apply it on your Power Platform uh, automate workflow. Sorry, workflow itself. And then the reusability. So reusability, you can use it in many Power Automate flows. You can create one custom connector, and you can use it in many Power Automate flows, and even you can use it on Power Apps as well. So yes, now we'll dive into the demo. So yes, so let me open the browser. So this is how the home page of Power Apps looks like. So everyone would know that. And then where can we find the custom connector? So what you have to do is you have to go to More, Discover All, and then uh, move down, scroll down, and you can see custom connectors. Click on the pin button, so you will have it on your navigation bar. Sorry. Now we'll be creating a blank custom connector. So we'll be creating the first use case. So let's say use case one. Let's say use case one. Sorry. Use case one, and we'll continue. Then you for this is a custom connector. So first, before we go into the creation create before we go, move into the creation, we'll check the documentation. So here is the documentation. I think Irshad would share all the documentation and the resources uh, of the related technologies. So this create a custom connector from scratch. You can find it on Microsoft Learn by yourself itself. So here each and every steps how to create the custom connector, and what are the parameters, and what are the condition, what are the extended features you can do. Everything is available here. So and also here is the another chapter on how to write a code in custom connector. This is also available on Microsoft Learn. So this is what we are going to do today. So this is my reference as well. So we'll jump into the session demo. Yeah. So first we'll add an image to the icon. It would be easy to identify. So we'll get the email icon, and then so we don't usually like in custom connectors we don't need we used to use external web APIs and stuff to customize. So as we are going with the uh, C# code, so we don't we just need a very less information to be given. So we'll go host with a home, and we'll go to the security tab then. And security, no need of authentication because Microsoft is uh, taking care of all the security needs. So we if we are having the code written inside the C#, so in the inside the custom connector, we don't have to think about it anymore. And we'll move into the definition tab. So be aware now in the definition tab on the left side, you can see new action. So we have to go create a new action. So we are gonna validate email. So we're gonna check whether the email is valid, and we're gonna check if the email is uh, within the organization. Yeah. So the operation ID. So operation ID should be unique for this uh, for the custom connector. So we have to use a uh, operation ID. So we'll go with uh, validate email. So please be aware of this, and we'll get a copy of it as well. And then validate email. And then we have to import from a sample in the request. So here we have to select the post verb because we are gonna run the code and then get a response from the code, right? So it should be a post. And URL, you can simply have HTTPS home as the host. And body, we can have the input parameter, we'll say email. It should be JSON. Input parameter, email, and we can give it as empty. Okay. And we'll import it. Okay. So now here we can see the action has been created, validate email, and we can see the import body. So if you want to edit it, you can go here, edit. Or if you want to edit the uh, general operation ID or summary or description, you can do that as well. Now we'll move into the next tab, AI plugin. So this is irrelevant for our scenario, so we don't have to fill anything. So we can move into the code. So be aware, once you come to the code, you have to enable this code disable. You have to toggle, click on the toggle, and it will be enabled. So earlier, even if you edit it, it won't work. So you have to enable the code. Then you will be seeing the action you created on the previous tab in the definition. So you're going to select it. So this would be the parameter. Now let's create the connector before moving to the test. And also we do have a default code here which will provide a hello world message. So we'll just try testing the connector and then go for the code to be written with the AI tool. It will take just a second. Please be hold. Yeah. So and also here we should always, when you do a customization or change or edit, we need to update the connector on each and every tab, so there won't be any uh, details missing. And always when you do the update, you check here. There are sometimes there might be errors popping out, so please be aware of it. So now the custom connector is being creating. It will take a minute. Yes, it has been created now. We'll move into the test uh, tab. So here, usually we need to create a new connection always. So here, let's create a new connection. And please be aware, like if you are using this on an application, so where usually we used to give the connection as the a service account, right? So that would run through the service account. So if you give your own connections for the development purpose, for the demo, I have given my own connection. So if you are using inside the application, please use a service account. So this would be my connection name, sorry, name, and we'll test the default code now. Sorry. So it's successful and running. The hello world message is there and the status 200 is there now. And we'll go back to the code and we'll generate the C# code with the help of AI tools. So let me get the tool. Yeah, so my favorite tool is Cloud. So this really, it's a great AI tool. So let's ask Cloud to write us the C# connector. So yes, write uh, custom connector that takes an input of. Can you remember in the import sample we gave the parameter in the JSON? So we're gonna give take of a parameter email and then which will validate the format of email as I will give an example and check the domain is digital team or not. Okay. Uh, I forgot to mention something here, so we'll do that. Sorry. So it's been processing. Yes. Yeah. So here, as for the documentation which I showed earlier, here. Okay, this is the custom connector. Yes. So here we do have a code which do the regex regular expressions to intake a is match operation. So we're gonna give this code as the sample. So it will generate accordingly as per the script given. Here is so be aware like when you give the prompt correctly, because sometimes if you don't give the sample, it would generate a wrong, maybe not a wrong one, maybe what you are expecting, a different code for you. So be aware of what you are generating. So, yes. So I'll give a small explanation. So this is the uh, validate. This is the C# code which is generated. So here the validation email would be the operation ID. So operation ID we use the simple uh, yeah. So validate email would be the operation ID, and then it will check if the operation ID is correct. Then it will go to the function. So here it takes the parameter inside, and then it checks these functions validate email format and the domain. So it will accordingly it will create the pattern and eliminates the special. Sorry, it will validate it, and if it's null or space, it will show and it checks for the domain and returns the details. So yeah, we'll see how we are gonna apply this. So usually we have to uh, write it within this wrap. So I will show you how we are gonna do that. Yes. Okay. We'll go to the custom connector now. So here is the custom connector. So our validate sorry our operation name is validate email, which is a simple, but what has been generated with a capital letter, so we'll might have to change that correctly. So yeah, it is. So it's validate email, and you have to have this wrapper. Inside that you have to write your code, so be aware of that when you do that. So now we'll test it. So before testing, as I told earlier, we should update the connector always. Sorry. So it will take a minute when you do the update. So that's usual. And be aware of the error. Always check for that. And we can test it right here on the next step once it's created. And also you can call it in the Power Automate after it's tested. Yes, we'll check how we're going to do that. Yeah, it has been updated. So we'll move into the test and we'll give us sample and test. So here we have got the response. So we're gonna check for a failure one. So it says the email is valid, but the domain is false. So now we'll add this to a Power Automate flow and we'll see. So I have already created a solution. So always when you work, you create a solution. And as I told earlier, you create the service account, right? So you should have the connection reference added to the service account and add that reference to your custom connector and import your connector as well. So first, let me create an instant flow. Yes. So I'm going to create an instant flow calling demo one and create. Here I'm going to give an import call email and call call the custom connector which we created, which is use case 1. So validate email. Sorry. Yes, now our custom connector has been created. So we're going to pass the parameter on the input to the custom connector. So now we'll save it first and test it. Yeah, it's saving. Yes, save. Now we can test it. Yes. Yes, the connection is okay. Now we'll test it with at Teams. Sorry. And it's gonna failure and return you the response. We'll check. So this is the response we have provided. So the domain info. So you can easily use this and work along. So if you are trying to do the whole thing which the code did here, so you will be using a lot of first nodes and actions and conditions here. So this is more efficient. And we'll quickly move into the second custom connector as we are having very limited time. Yes. So we're going to create another custom connector called use case 2. And we can add a image, and I will quickly configure this custom connector and show you how this also works. So in the definition, you need to create a parameter here. So the parameter would be a summary would be format phone number. Format phone number, and the operation ID should be unique. And what is the operation ID? It's gonna be format phone number. And yes, we're gonna import a sample with phone number, import a sample, post, and home. Then the JSON body would be the input. Let's say phone within the wrappers phone number, and we can keep the this thing empty and import it. Yes. Now the array is gone, and now we'll move into the AI plugin tab. So nothing to do here. Then we'll move into the code tab, enable code toggle, and then click on the action which you created. Now I have already created the uh, response. Sorry, I have already generated the script from AI, so I can quickly paste it here and show you the response. So this is the generated one, and now I'll create the connector. So it will take a minute again. So if there is anything wrong, we can check for the parameter. If the parameter is different for the one which I generated, or the operation ID is different, we have to change the code again and update. So be aware of that. Always give the correct operation ID and the correct parameter. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, it's loading. We can test it and use it in the application then. Yes. Yes, it has been created. So we'll quickly move it to the next tab. And you have to create the connection again. So we'll create a connection quickly. So it has been created for the use case 2. Yes. So use case 2. You're gonna edit, go to the test tab. You're gonna directly test it with the. So I have already done it and tested, so I can directly use it. So the use case to connection connector has been applied. So this is the original phone number and this is the formatted one. So we are expecting this format, right? So I'm going to test the invalid one. Let's say I'm having more than 10 numbers here. So here you will get the validation as well. So it is being limited only for 10 digits of numbers. So that is also done. So we'll go to the power apps and we'll edit it. We'll add another step, custom connector, and we'll add this use case. And oh, sorry, I have added the wrong connector. So custom connector, and we checked for the we have to refresh the page. Sorry. The connector which is updated now will be available. So earlier it wasn't available because we didn't refresh the page. So custom connector, and now it is available. And format phone number. So we can add another input saying 23. Oh, sorry. As number. Your input. Yes. So we'll call it here number which is on the input, and save it. Then we'll test it how it works in the Power Tool. So for the validations, you don't have to use lot of nodes and conditions. As I mentioned earlier, this would be a efficient way. So yes, both the connections, an email uh, will give a wrong correct email. Digitalteam.com, and phone number I would like to give one. So this is gonna format it. So there's an error. So bad request. So we'll check it. Maybe what we tested would have been wrong. So I'll directly show you which I have already used. Outflow sample one. Edit. So we have input of this phone number, and it is formatted to this way. So it has been formatted. So this is the same thing which I developed there. And also plus I would like to share something new as well, something different as well. So we checked on how to format, validate email, validate. These are simple scenarios just to have explanation. And this is, I have created two custom connectors with APIs to check whether the current weather and the current rate of currency right now. So this C# code includes the APIs as well. So I can show you that custom connectors as well. So I will show you the with the custom connector, and directly I will move to the code. So here we have used the uh, base URL and the API, and I use the cloud AI tool to generate this code. So it has been working with the APIs as well. So I will show you a tested scenario. So here, what I have inputted is Columbus climate and USD as the base URL. And so climate, it's light rain with thunder. So here we have a lot of parameters given. So from that, I have picked only the condition, current, and then condition and the text. Current condition. So this is the response from that, and current rate for USD. So we can check all the rates. So available, even you can find the LKR here. So LKR it shows 290 as for the API, and this is the USD rate itself. So it's one. So this is using the web APIs. So now we'll jump into the demo again. Sorry, the presentation again. So, yeah, so the demo is done. Then we'll move into the limitations. So these custom connectors has a strict architectural and performance guide to be followed. Only this could be implemented in C#. So I checked if it's possible with my AI tool, cloud AI tool to generate in Java or other languages. So what it suggested is if there is any code or features developed in those other languages, you can convert it to C# and run it through the custom connector and use it in the Power Automate. Plus the performance constraint. So this should be the custom connector should be execution time shouldn't exceed more than 5 seconds. So that is the best practice we should follow. So it should be always within 5 seconds. So when you use a huge web API which loads more than 5 seconds, it's not the correct approach to go with it. And the file size should be less than 1 MB. So that is a point to have idea on your development, how big your, how complex you can go with. So it should be within 1 MB. And naming space limitation. I really wanted to show you this. So, sorry, yes. So here in the sorry, in the Microsoft Learn, so in this resource, we do have some naming space constraint. Like these are the only supported naming spaces. So these are the only supported libraries to use inside the custom connector to write a C# code. If you use beyond this, the custom connector while you're creating or updating, it would error out. So be aware of this. So can you remember while generating through the AI tool, why I copied a script from here which intakes something similar, which intakes input and provide you responses. So I just copied this for the reference. So it will follow the naming spaces which is used. I'm sorry, which is used in the C# code. So that's the reason why I gave a reference. And also no tracing and logging mechanism permitted. So usually in C# codes we used to do tracing while we write codes to be aware on the things. Yes, so in that case these are the limitations. So now we'll move into the summary. So summary is now we have looking to what are the technologies we have used, which is custom connector, Power Automate, and the C# code which is generated from AI tool. So or else you can use it, customize it yourself, be aware of the limitations as well. And then how we are gonna configure it on the custom connector and then use it on Power Automate, and how the response was, and so on. We have gone through that, and now we'll move into the question and answers. So now if you all have any questions, you may shoot at me. Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, sorry, I can find questions in the chat. I wasn't noticing. I'm sorry. Yes.
If you have
So,
any
any
questions,
questions?
guys, please feel free to put it up on the Q&A segment, so we will take it up.
So I think everyone is having a good idea on the Power Automate using custom connectors. So if you all have any minor questions, even you can ask me. So I'll give my best to give you the correct answer on those areas which I have learned.
Any questions? Seems like no questions, Rahid. So we can wrap up the session. Any final notes from you?
Yes, so I do have this resource links. So I have shared. Isha, can you share the links with the participants, because these are the links which I have shared on the first of what are the technologies we learned today. So you can go on, and these resources are available on YouTube, and Microsoft Learn is more than enough to get the idea on how you wanted to go with. And also, if you all are new to Power Platform, you don't have an environment to work with, you can use these links and how to create a free environment and work on it. So Irshad would share all the resources on these areas. And yes, that's it. And I would like to thank everyone for the participation and giving me this opportunity to do to teach what I have learned so far while I was working and learning. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Irshad, it's up to you.
All right, so that's the end of the session, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and special thanks to Rahid. Even though he's not well, he managed to pull this session up for all of us. So thank you, thanks again, Rahid, for this insightful session. I'm sure all of you have learned how to work smart using AI tools and make your life more easier, especially when you are into Power Platform and when you are working with Power Automate. It's not easy, as Rahid mentioned. You have certain uh, workflows to do certain work. So this will be a trickier point for you to learn and how to use C# custom connectors without a split of a second. So also, a few things, a few announcement from my end, everyone. So, first announcement is that DigiConnect, all of our episodes are being uploaded to YouTube as well. So, if you or any of your friends missed, or if you want to refer, watch out our LinkedIn, our social media page. Once the recording is up and uploaded on our YouTube channel, we will let you know, as well as there are a number of roles related to Power Platform going on at Digital Team. So I encourage all of you to visit digitalteam.com and visit the career site to refer all these positions. And if you think you are a suitable candidate, make sure you apply, and also check out the other roles as well. There are a number of roles we are hiring. So feel free to check, and feel free to follow all our social media pages for all other upcoming episodes and all upcoming sessions as well. And one exciting announcement is that if you're around WTZ, if you are working at WTZ, we are planning to hold our very first uh, recruitment career pop-up stall at WTZ on the 5th Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. So during the pop-up event, there are a lot more exciting, giveaways, swags to be given out as well. But most importantly, if you are planning to make career move to the next year, or if you're looking for a career move urgently, you can come and talk to our experts in the booth, and also have a chat with them and understand what we offer, how we can help you to unlock your potential, as well as there are exciting gifts to be give out as well. So make sure you join us if you're available and around on the 5th December, Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. We will be there. And most importantly, we will have our experts from the talent acquisition team, people and culture team will be there as well. So they will also help you to, review your resume, provide you with any support, help with your career move, career planning as well. So don't miss out the opportunity. Lock the date, and there will be more update coming onto our social media channels as well. So keep following us and also check for more information in the next coming weeks. And once again, thank you, Rahid, and thanks everybody for joining us. And we will meet you soon in the very next episode, the third episode of DigiConnect. Until then, stay safe and good night, everyone.